Just keep going. Find that thing you love, because it's tough work. And my father gave me this advice when I said I wanted to be an actor. He said, have a backup profession like welding. But I think if you can find that thing that really gives you joy, that'll be it. Because for me, it's always been comedy and stand-up and acting too, because of exploring behavior. But it's tough work, and if you can get it, even better. Good luck.
Follow your dreams. You've heard it 100 times. If you put your mind to it, you can do anything. But then life gets so chaotic and suddenly your dreams feels unreachable. Probably thinking it's not worth pursuing that dream anymore. People tell you that you have to be more realistic. Instead of being on the defense, you start believing that bullshit. Well, it's time to stop thinking that way. It's time to get off your fucking ass and do something. And yeah, it's going to be that type of segment this episode. The world has been too nice to you because you might get your feelings hurt, while at the same time, you're depressed as shit because of that same fucked up world. I'm here to not be your bitch friend that keeps you down. I'm here to get you off your ass and start following your dream. The hell with the excuses. Screw the people who always second guess you. You sit there hoping to be the next big thing, but you don't do shit, expecting things to just say, hey, you're great, let's hire you. There are hundreds of people wanting to do the exact thing that you want to do, but you think you're hot shit because nobody had the balls to tell you the fucking truth. What truth? That you need to work hard to improve the skill. Work hard to make stuff happen. Your dreams will not magically happen because that's what you believe. I see so many people, especially actors and actresses, who want to be celebrities. Then you ask, how many auditions did you do last year? Maybe 5? 5 should have been the number in 1 week. But once they get a couple of rejections, they give up entirely, still hoping to get that big job. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't matter what you're into, whether you want to write a best-selling novel, become a great filmmaker, become a movie star, or to start your own bakery shop. No matter what you do, you have to work hard at it. There is no such thing as an overnight success. It only seems that way to people who don't pay attention to what you're doing. Steven, I'm too old to follow my dreams. I can't do that anymore. Shut the fuck up.
Did you know that Harrison Ford at 30 was a carpenter? Vera Wang didn't design her first dress until she was 40. Even Captain Crunch joined the Navy at 50. All I'm saying is that you youngins is running around here trying to be somebody when you don't even know who you are yet. You know what happened to Oprah at 23? She got fired.
Yeah, well, that was a mistake.
No, it wasn't. Because she wasn't Oprah. She was just some 23-year-old punk who needed to get fired so she could become Oprah. Sometimes you gotta fail to succeed.
Samuel L. Jackson was in his 40s when he became an A-list superstar. Bryan Cranston was also in his 40s when he starred in that popular TV show. Jane Lynch was in her 40s with the Glee success. J.K. Rowling was in her 30s before the first Harry Potter book was published. Walt Disney was almost 30 when he created Mickey. There are way more examples for me to list, but I'm not going to do that. But the point is that it's not too late. So many of us get discouraged because we only go after things that we think makes the most sense to do. It often feels like it doesn't seem practical. It seems impossible. First, you have to plan out your dream. And you already most likely did that when you first started thinking about it. Your dream may seem impossible to achieve, but listen to me. It is only impossible if you believe that it's impossible. We all have a limited amount of time on this beautiful earth. So if you know what you want to do, it's time to start working towards it. Don't give up so easily. We live in a world full of so many distractions. And following your dream requires you to be disciplined. Many people's problem is that they dream big, which is great, but they end up putting all of their eggs into one big ass giant basket. And as soon as it becomes too difficult or they get rejected, that's it, done. You have to start with setting small goals. Those big goals that leads to the ultimate dreams will be reachable when you start small. Let's say you want to write a book. You don't have to force yourself to write 1,000 words a day and be done with the book in a couple of days or weeks. It takes time. If you try to do too much at once, you will get discouraged. But if you set small achievable goals, your dreams will come true. Steven, what about the support? I need support. Not enough people believe in me. Fuck support. Trust me when I say this, you don't need any fucking body to help you get to your dreams. That is the cold hard truth. People, and this includes family and friends, but some people don't want you to believe in your dreams. Why? They don't give a shit. They have their own fucking lives to deal with. Then you got the toxic ones that are jealous and just awful. But the thing that hurts is not even those toxic fuckers. We expect that from them, right? To be toxic. It's the loved ones that say they believe in you, but don't really do anything to support you. This is what a simple support can do. In the clip you're about to hear, there is money involved, but you don't need to give money to support. But check out Mario Morante's vid that I saw on TikTok.
So it's Christmas. I'm all alone. It's just me and my little dumbass tree. My wife left me, so here I am. But of course, my mom sends me a bunch of gifts. And, I got one of those like overly supportive moms. Like, if I was in jail, she'd be like, I send him cookies every week. He's such a good inmate. Like, she wouldn't. Anyways, we just got off FaceTime, and I'm opening her gifts. And, she sends me some Super Mario socks and some Batman stuff and, just the little things, and which is nice. And then she sent me this, and it's an Amazon gift card. And it's got money on it, and she said, I want you to go buy some stuff to keep making TikToks. And I'm so proud of you, and I want you to go buy some things so you can make your little videos. And, when you realize that you're just a really shitty son? Oh, God, what is happening? Oh, God, I don't cry. But she comments on all my videos, and anyways, this just made my whole Christmas. And I used to delete her comments off my videos because I'd be like, Mom, this is embarrassing. Like, what are you doing? And I couldn't be prouder. And I'm so lucky to have such an amazing... Oh, God, what is happening? What? No! Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so lucky to have such an amazing, amazing mother. And I'm going to take this, Mom. I'm going to get myself a tripod and some props and some wigs and just all sorts of shit to keep entertaining you guys. But this is long overdue. I just wanted to say thank you, Mother. Thank you. I love you to death. Oh, God, what just happened? Oh, wow. But Merry Christmas, everybody. Oh, man, moms are awesome. Merry Christmas. Anyways, follow me. I'm pretty funny. Wow. I don't cry. I'm a man. I'm sorry. I love you all. Merry Christmas.
I wish everyone who is just as passionate with the dream gets that type of support. Hey, I got this idea for this or for that, or I'm thinking about pursuing that thing. Many of us, after we tell them that, we get this instead. Oh, that's nice. Let's make it about me now. Are you good at it? I know someone that tried that. It didn't work out. That's not a real job, though. Isn't it like a hobby? And the one that family members have said to me, and probably more than likely to you, can you make money doing that? The last one is big with the parents, and they wonder why their daughter or son are unmotivated and still living with them. Those parents do nothing but complain about their kid not launching. My daughter doesn't do anything but sleep and be on social media all day. My son doesn't do nothing but drinks or smokes and game all day. My kids don't do anything around the house. They don't want to work. I don't know how to fix my kid. Hey, parent that has this fucking mindset. Your kid is this way because of the shit you did. Your voice is playing over and over and over in his or her fucking head. He or she has trouble finding their own voice. Absolutely terrified because anytime they express their own voice or talk about what they want to do, boom, you undermine. Boom, you start lecturing and telling your kid what you want them to do that can fit your life. All roads lead to the fucking parent. They show no support. It's the truth. Of course, parents, especially the Gen X, will deny and become extremely defensive. They don't have a fucking clue what they did to their kid and why that kid never followed their dreams. I don't think they mean to hurt us, though. I don't think they do it on purpose. I believe that most do what was best for their kids, but they don't know how to express it in a healthy way. Someday, some of these people will wish they had treated you right. Trust me, that time will come. How do you deal with these people? First, you have to start thinking, why the hell are they like this? My theory is that they are pissed that they did not fulfill their own dreams. So they're just repeating shit that was said to them that kept them down. Best thing I did to deal with them was just to block it all out and then surround myself with people who really wanted me to succeed and would be genuinely happy for me. Who you surround yourself with can make or break your ability to chase your dreams. People who want to see you win will always help you win. They will want to help make you better. They will want to help build you up. They are the ultimate believers. When you have that person in your life, your biggest fan, don't lose that person. Don't ignore that person. Nobody failed me. I failed me by thinking everybody in my life had the same loyalty. Now, what I want to do is to take you through my dream journey because I've dealt with all this bullshit and used the number one excuse for not pursuing the dream career. Life happened. It all started in the 10th grade. My guidance counselor and my mom said it was best for me to join something. I didn't want to do sports for 3 reasons. I'm short, I'm fat, and I don't like the sports politics because I will be kicked out of the team fast. I won't be able to handle roided out bitches with a small dick like that in sports. I would want to knock all their fucking teeth in. So I didn't want to play in sports. Anyways, I saw that there was a TV production elective class available. They worked together after school, and I was told that it will help with college and stuff. So I signed up. I ended up loving it. I had so much fun doing the morning announcements, going to the events for free and filming them, editing it afterwards so that the highlights can be shown in the morning announcements. However, that is where I also learned about broadcasting politics. There was this fucker named Lewis, and he was not good at this shit. Whatever dick he sucked or ass he kissed, the teacher always let him be the producer. Listeners, he was not good. So many of us had awesome ideas that can make things very entertaining, but we were all shut down because of the teacher and Lewis. We would lose competitions and stuff, and they wondered, why did we lose? We're good. Then there was times that I finally got some of my ideas approved, and then someone else would steal that idea and make it their own. For example, the 1-year anniversary of 9/11, the teacher asked for ideas. I went up to him and said, hey, I got this buddy who was in JROTC, and they're doing something special. Let me take the camera, head over there, and film them. And as I was filming them, shooting blanks out of a gun, I was thinking, what song should I play while this is happening? And after filming, I went right to where they had band and stuff, and I asked if there were any students that can play the trumpet for me. I needed someone to play taps. Many of you know the song, but not the name. This is what I wanted. So one kid got up and said, hey, I got you. We went outside. I left the cap on the camera because I just needed to record the sound, and he played the song. I was walking back to the class, and I saw that many groups of people around the school was paying tribute to the lost souls of 9/11, and I filmed it all. In editing, I decided to use Sarah McLachlan's Angel, and everyone loved what I did. At the end of the school year, the teacher said, hey, gather your favorite clips, and this little bitch picked that segment and claimed that she did it all. I was already tired of the classroom politics and didn't give a shit anymore, so I didn't bother with it. The next school year, right across the hall was film studies. The guidance counselor told me about it because she knew what was going on and knew how much I wanted to entertain people. I loved that film class. We learned about script analysis, breaking down movies, learning about film eras. We learned about certain filmmakers like Alfred Hitchcock. I was on top of the world. I knew I wanted to do that for the rest of my life. I don't remember how it came to me, but there was a package to apply to a film school. It was Brooks Institute of Photography in California. I had to do an essay and all that, and I got accepted. Here I am, a junior in high school, already accepted into college. I wish I remembered what the hell I wrote in that essay, but it displayed my passion enough to get accepted. I started high and then reality hit me like a fucking bullet train. I don't know how it is today, but at that time, the only way to get a loan for a school was through your parents, and my parents were not good with money. Not my father. Actually, he was more conservative with the money. He was a little bit better than the rest, but not my stepmom, not my mom, not my stepdad. The bank said, fuck the hell no. I was devastated. I tried to do everything I could to get the loan myself, but bank after bank, they said no. Out-of-state fees and dorm fees was just too high. I was desperate enough to even think about living in a car throughout the school years. But of course, the parents, they didn't want any of that. And for a little bit, I was pissed at my parents because of their fuck up with money. I couldn't achieve my dream. But that was me being a sour bitch idiot. I was young. I didn't care. But man, I resented them for a while. Then in my senior year, an alumni came to the film class and talked about Full Sail. It's a film school near Orlando. I convinced my parents to do the tour, and I loved that film degree tour. I was at my domain there, but I hit the same fucking roadblock. Now that school's a university, but at that time it was still considered a technical school. But what was expensive was not necessarily the degree, it was the housing. They don't have dorms. So you had to get a loan to live in apartments or studios or something outside of the school. And again, I could not get the fucking loans. Now I graduated and still could not go to any fucking school that had a good film department. All super expensive. I tried replacing it with other degrees, but I was never happy. I became depressed. All my life, people said that you could do anything, and here I am struggling to pursue a dream. I started thinking chasing the dream was only for people with money. What even pissed me off even more, people started thinking the reason why I didn't pursue my dream, they said that it was because of my high school sweetheart, and I wanted to stay behind for her, but she was way bigger supporter than them. A few years had passed and my parents kept telling me that I needed to do something with my life. We argued all the time about it. They wanted me out of the house because at that time, that was the reality. You're an adult, get the fuck out of the house. Finally, the opportunity to leave the house came when my wife wanted to get married and join the military. We got married in the courts and I moved out of the house as fast as I could. And that right there, as you can see, how the support from a family could have made a difference. Now, I don't wish my life away at all. I would never want anything to change. But sometimes I wonder, what would have happened if I had gotten the support instead of the push to make as much money as I can to get out of the house? So let's fast forward. And now I'm working for a merchandising group at Home Depot in Seattle. I still had dreams of becoming a filmmaker. The plan was to do the military for a few years and use the money saved up to go to film school. I remember telling all my ideas to this one older coworker. He loved listening to my dreams and stories. One day he said something that has always stuck with me. He said, "Steven, all of your ideas are great, but you need to start on something already. One finished idea is better than a million of unfinished ideas." I was like, "You're right." Shortly after that, we moved from Seattle, Washington to Key West, Florida, which is a big adult playground. We had 3 years left before I had to go to film school, so we had fun. Just look up Fantasy Fest in Key West, Florida, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Fast forward to when we were supposed to get out of the military in 2012, and time for me to start planning to go to film school, and my wife ended up backing out of the plan because it was just crazy economy at that time. It was shit under Obama. She was scared. I was scared. People were scared. People were getting fired. Our parents getting fired, and it was just crazy. And shortly after that, she was pregnant, and that's when I started seeing my dream fly away, and I gave up. Fast forward to 2013, my firstborn son is 1 year old. My father called me to check up on me, and we ended up talking about my failed dreams. Then he said, Steven, you need to stop. There is more than one road to the same dream. Pray about it and the answer will come. I didn't pray about it, but I didn't stop thinking about it nonstop. I was thinking about becoming an author, turning all my film ideas into books, and then I remembered what the coworker said about that one finished idea. That is when I sat down and started writing Nightmare Lane. I read blogs from independent authors giving advice about taking it slow, that I didn't have to write thousands of words in one day. I just have to write just a little bit every day. Another author said I shouldn't worry about the details, people's names and shit. So I just kept writing with all the errors up the ass. Many characters didn't have names. There was misspelled words and horrible grammar everywhere, but I just kept writing. I just labeled certain characters like a vampire girl, stuff like that. And like they went to the mall, and in parentheses, I would say, give details later. After 2 months, I was done with the rough draft, and it was about 30-something thousand words. I was so proud of myself. Then it took another month to add all the details, and it went all the way to 60-something thousand words. Then I edited 3 more times, which took 2 months to do, and then I was done. At that time, I was researching how to publish as an independent author. I read articles and blogs filled with advice. And one advice that upset me was, hey, go find someone to proofread it. Someone in your family, someone in your friends. And no one I knew how to do it or could do it. I hated hearing successful indie authors tell me, oh, my spouse was a proofreader, my parent, my sibling, my family member, my friend, my fucking doctor. Here I am saying, that must be nice. To pay for someone to fix all the grammar would have cost me over $3,000, probably more today. So I did the best that I could on my own. Then the other advice that pissed me off was about support. At first it didn't. I believed it. This is when I learned that people really don't give a shit. Your friends and family, they don't care. The advice I was given by so many authors out there was that when you publish your book, you got to get your family and friends to buy your book and give decent reviews. It will be the perfect boost that will attract more readers. Some authors were like, oh, I got 30 reviews, 30 people to buy my book. I got 20. Some people were like, I got 60 from my friends and coworkers and family. I was excited. It gave me the motivation to be like, oh yeah, because I'm Hispanic. So I was like, we be popping babies like crazy, and I'm a divorced child. So there's so many people. And out of everyone I knew, just 3 bought the book. I was a little shocked because many of them fed me the bullshit that they got my back. And it was all a lie. I started thinking that maybe I'm not good enough, that maybe they hated the damn thing. My mind was going crazy with assumptions. So then I started cutting them off. But now I've learned that they were just busy with their own fucking life. That we were all alone, and then that we don't need any support to follow our dreams. I wrote a couple of more books that wasn't fictional like the first. They were more of how-to books. The bad grammar and no support from family, I lost all motivation. I didn't want to write anymore. The motivation was gone. I played the NPC role, just lived life and not to the fullest. It wasn't bad or anything. My marriage got stronger. We had 2 more boys. It was just a typical family story. House, kids, minivan. I accepted the cards I was given and chose to be happy. Chose to be the best dad I could be and support them above and beyond whatever it is they wanted to do. I didn't wait until teenagers to support them. My oldest, Nick, loves drawing like I did at his age. So we got him artist shading pencils, drawing pads, color pencils, a nice case to put everything in, books to help him draw. I see him getting better and better every time he draws something. Like a week ago, we took him to Target to get a couple of things because the kids have behaved so well during the move by staying the fuck out of my way. But the oldest wanted 1 toy and 1 book he saw, which was how to draw Five Nights at Freddy's characters. And he is really good at it and loves showing me every drawing he did. The middle child, Nate, he's the engineer. He loves building stuff. I've learned when he built a whole scooter with a seat, with a handle that turns and a pedal that moves out of fucking Duplos. And if you don't know what that is, it's Legos for babies. So we buy him all sorts of things for him to build, from books to kits with gears to Lego Technics to Connect. The older he gets, the more sophisticated the kits will be. The youngest, Christian, he is very creative. He's into stop motion films right now. Bought the app on the iPad that they share and just let him do it. We bought lights, background sets, and soon we want to buy the green screens and even that green screen glove thing. They love showing me all the stuff that he do. Why? Because they know I support their little asses above and beyond. I always make a big deal out of it. I do what I wish I would have gotten. I mean, I did get it from my father because he was always made a big deal about stuff and he would buy me all the stuff I needed to create. He encouraged the writing. He encouraged to create. He encouraged to draw. So I started praying, and the answer that I got was, hey, the reason why you didn't follow your dreams and that I had to experience all of that was because that's what I needed to go through to be the best dad for my boys. So then I took the role happily, and I started getting that feeling that my boys are meant for greatness, and it starts with me supporting them like crazy. I published another book right after that, and, it's selling okay. It was the marriage book, but nothing with film, nothing with telling stories, nothing with entertaining people. Fast forward to 2019. I started thinking about starting a podcast. Too much of a pussy to start it myself, and I was trying to get a co-host. People kept breaking their promises, and I gave up finding someone to do with. And then one night in January 2020, I dreamt of a big motherfucker, a scary-looking fucker, just yelling at me to not be a pussy. I'm yelling back, I'm not a pussy, I'm not a pussy. And then the guy changed into a sexy-ass woman with fucked up eyes and just said, just start the podcast. I don't know what that fucking dream was for, but it stuck with me. I woke up thinking, what the hell am I waiting for? I did a little research on getting started. I had no clue what the fuck I was doing. I pressed record on the mic that I had and I just talked. No plan, nothing. Fast forward to January 2022. And with this podcast, I've written many scripts and skits. That's how I finally got that producer/director kick. I've grown the Out of Place family with wonderful hosts over the years, met so many wonderful and talented people. But when I took my first solo trip in January and just by sitting and relaxing and unplugging from the world, I started thinking about the next phase of my life. I wanted to do something that will help me achieve my dreams, create something for my boys, and take Out of Place to the next level. Something that doesn't require me to be super active on it. Like being a director would require so much time that I didn't have. Then it hit me. Become an executive producer. Find the money and use the money to fund film projects. I could still live the dream by telling stories, and I don't have to be on set all the time. I flew back home, and up until last fall, I had done a lot of research and planning and figuring out how I'm going to go about this. I started praying about it, and suddenly the right answers started appearing everywhere, on social media, during a sermon, a conversation with someone. I finally knew what I had to do, and I had to start my own production company. So I ended up starting an LLC for a production company, bought the rights to the website name, did a trademark for it and everything. It's called Algid Productions. I've had that name for years. That I'm like, one day my film company is going to be called Algid Productions. Algid Productions is going to act as a parent company to 4 subsidiary companies. Of course, there's going to be more in the future. The 4 companies, I can't really get into the names and stuff because I still have to save money for all that business shit and copyright and all that. But I can tell you what they are. There's going to be a live action film company. I'm going to have someone oversee that department. There's going to be an animation company. That one I will be focusing a lot on. The first thing I'm going to do is bring Big Vinny and Lenny to life through animation. I'm going to animate Big Vinny and Lenny skits from the podcast to get a feel of how the audience reacts to them on YouTube and shit. And if it goes well, then we'll put even more money to create a series for them that could be on Netflix, Prime Video, or something. Eventually, I want to create animations like the Arcane show on Netflix. The third company will be creating graphic novels. And the fourth is the Out of Place podcast. I put Out of Place under Algid so that it can get funded. I want to get to the point where Out of Place can pay all of my hosts and the voiceover artists you hear. Eventually, I will stop being the main host, so I want to get an editor to edit everyone's segments like I do now. I want to help pay for new equipment for the hosts. I would like to fund a yearly event kind of like a work retreat where the host and the crew and can meet up and have fun. And as long as I'm in charge, more than likely it's going to be Orlando. Don't care. Anyways, I want to help pay for services that I paid now, like music and sound effects licensing. There are a lot more services I would like to get right now, but I can't because of money. I have gigantic plans for Out of Place. I even want a small corporate office for Out of Place that will have marketers, HR, outreach managers, writers, editors, graphic designers, guest relation managers that can get the top guests, advertising managers, and people in charge of all that shit. As you can see, I have done a lot of planning and thinking and have been so very excited to share all of this with you. I'm ready. I'm ready for this venture. After I told my brother Mikey this, he said, it is the beginning of an era, and it truly is. I'm super excited. I know we will be successful because of what I've already done with Out of Place. Over the years, I realized that I have a gift for finding talent. That's going to help the production company. Another thing that I want to do is to help make people's dream come true. I worked really hard at making Out of Place what it is now. I do my best to sound as professional as it could be. But one of the things that I learned recently is that so many voiceover artists that I've casted have been putting it on their resumes. It got to the point where Out of Place is even showing up on IMDb. I want my production company to do what Rockstar does. Hire and cast unknowns. I've received great work because people are giving it their all on their way to the bigger jobs. I think of how college sports are always the most interesting because they want to play with the pros. The only way that I will work with someone famous is when someone that I've casted when they were unknowns really want to work with us again. Other than that, I will always hire indie creators. And it's not to save money. That's not the reason. It is for the passion. That is the secret to making great content. I remember seeing some special effect makeup artists creating some of the most scariest makeup I've seen during Halloween season. Hollywood doesn't hire people like that anymore. I would. And I'm talking everyone that it takes to work on a project. That means for the live action film company, it's the actors and the actresses, the directors, camera operators, screenwriters, editors, the DP, which is the director of photography for those who don't know, costume designers, hairstylists, people that work with prosthetics, sound mixers, sound engineers, choreographers, stunt coordinators, stunt performers, visual effects supervisors, art directors, production managers. These are set builders, set designers, prop masters. I will always act as an executive producer, so I'll need producers as well. I can list every job it takes to make a live action film. Just watch the credits of any movie and you'll see all the jobs. The animation department is similar to the live action one. Just add character designers and developers, storyboard artists, 3D modelers, model riggers. Those are the people who can make a 3D model and make them move and talk. And of course, the animators. They take the rigged models and tell the story. And then there's the voiceover artists. And one thing I forgot to mention that's on the live action and animated films and also the podcast is music. I'm really big on supporting indie musicians. For the graphic novel company, I want to make comic book artists, manga artists, and graphic novel artists' dream come true by bringing their books to life. There is so much talent out there and people competing to work on these types of projects. My target will be people fresh out of film school, independent creators that just want to play with the pros, people that are very passionate at what they do. Say what you will about Disney. There is good shit and bad shit. But when it comes to storytelling and making entertainment, Disney knows what the fuck they are doing. They have this great strategy that I love, and I want to do the same thing. They don't do it as often as they used to, but when they do it, it works. Because the people at the top, corporate people, they don't give a fuck. They don't. But here's what they do, right? When they greenlight a project, they give the nerdiest, creative, and passionate person they could find for that project. They give that person a budget and tell them, go do your thing. Look at the Marvel Universe. Why did it work? Why was it badass? Kevin Feige, the fucker in charge of the whole thing, is a comic book nerd. Look at the movie Encanto. That movie is known not because of the message or the visuals. No, it's the music. They hired Lin-Manuel. He did great. And he also delivered on Moana. Then you look at the other franchises and the other networks and they start strong and then it gets canceled because it went bad. Or it started horribly and they get canceled right away. Other studios, for some reason, they haven't picked up on this yet. And I don't know how they don't see it. Well, I know. It's just most of them are too focused on getting all the woke checkbox marked off than focusing on a good story. That is one thing Algebra Production will always do. Tell a good story. We will have representation of every kind, but a story will always be the focus. We will never bend the knee. We will never go full woke. We are currently living in an awesome era of entertainment. Look at the high-budget fantasy television shows and movies. Look what they did with Game of Thrones and Star Wars. But this is what pisses me the fuck off about all this shit. Many of these awesome movies and shows are bad. And I hate the reason why they are bad. Because it doesn't make one fucking sense to me. They look good, right? The sets, the costuming, the CGI, it's state of the art. The casting is great most of the time. The music is also fucking great. The problem is stories. The people in charge forgot that those stories are supposed to be just as good as it looks. When you got something that is based on a great fucking story, why does it have to be changed? I never understood that. I'm always asking, don't they want to make fucking money? Let's take The Witcher, for example. All they had to do was look at the books. That's what I pictured, somebody that pitched it. They were like, hey, let's take this book, let's take this franchise and put it on Netflix. It's beloved by millions. And make sure you study the book, make sure you study the games. And the franchise has already built fan base. We can make so much money that we can wipe our asses with $100 bills. But what happens is that the people in charge, they come back and say, no, we got a better idea. How about we forget about all of that and we do our own thing to make sure it has diversity? They think that they could tell a better story than the one that made that franchise popular. And it drives me nuts. Anyways, like I said, I want to do what Disney has done. I want to let the creatives create, let the nerds be nerds, let those people who are passionate shine as bright as they could. This is how I will get great entertainment. This is why I believe Algebra Productions will do great. Let's wrap this segment up. Chasing your dreams is one of the best ways to live a successful and fulfilling life. No one in this world but you can decide what you need to do with your life. Want to choose an easy route? That's fine. Just make sure you do the best to be happy and live life smiling. Or maybe you could just head in and face all of the challenges to make that dream come true. Following your dream is about becoming our true selves. Whatever you are passionate about, whatever you want to do, you are born to do that thing. It's time to show the world what you can do. There are many people that don't know what they want to do or know what they want to be, so they just go with the flow and accept whatever it is thrown in their path. But you know what you want to do. You know what you want to be. It sometimes seems so very hard or even possible to get what you want, but you have to keep pushing forward. Choosing to make your dreams a reality will not be an easy thing to do. The journey will have so many detours and distractions, but you have to keep moving forward. If you feel stuck or unmotivated, revisit your vision board, go over your plans, find inspiration on social media, blogs, books, podcasts, anywhere. I remember a while ago on social media, I saw this clip that motivated me to keep pushing forward. It said, you always hear that you got to get in the foot and through the door to open up another door till you get to your dream. And for some people, it is that easy. But for some of us, it's not. You have to keep opening doors. And sometimes you have to get your foot through the door and actually walk through the door. Then it takes you down a hallway. Then you got to take the third door on the right that leads to another hallway, that leads to another hallway, that leads to a stairwell, that leads to another door and another hallway, to an elevator, to a hallway, to another staircase, all before you get to that final door. Just keep pushing. You only have one life, so why not go after your dreams and make the most of it? Always remember that your age doesn't fucking matter. You are older and you feel it's too late? No, stop it. It's not too late to achieve your goal, to make your dream a reality. You're not a failure because you aren't famous or rich before you could legally drink. You're not too old to make it. You did not miss your chance. Following your dream, it requires patience. Patience is the key. Your season is here. This is your year, and you will see that it was worth the wait. It's not too late. It's time to find your purpose. It's time to showcase your passion. It's time to do something that will bring you joy. Never lose hope. Just when you think it's all over, God will always come through. Satan's biggest fear is for you to become what God created you to be. This is why he had done everything, Satan, in his power to make you lose focus. I feel great right now because when I started getting my shit together, I realized that it required a level of honesty that is hard to explain. But I tell you, there was this great feeling when I realized that I was the only one that had been holding myself back this whole time. Many of you will say that you don't have time to follow your dreams, but I guarantee you do. You know how to do it. Instead of binge watching a show or movies, instead of always being glued to the phone and browsing social media for hours, I worked on the podcast. I worked on my dream. You spend probably an easy 2 hours just doing things like that, but I would spend it on writing, on planning, on networking, on podcasting. Even just 1 hour a day would make a difference. Remember, you got to surround yourself with people that will bring the best out of you. The people that you surround yourself with should be an asset to your life, not a burden. You're going to outgrow people when you start focusing on yourself and on turning your dreams into a reality. You have to stop being scared to lose people who do nothing for you. People with negative minds will never help you live a positive and fulfilling life. Unsupportive people listen to you to reply. Supportive people will listen to understand. It sucks to have to think this way, but it's dangerous to have jealous people around you. They look at you as a competition while you look at them as family and friends. I spent most of my life believing that I never did enough for people when I didn't get the support, but I've learned now that I've been doing way too much for the wrong people. I have people in my life that would clap for me, but not too loud. They would want to help me out, but not enough. Those are fake relationships. Those are fake friends. And the funny thing is that those people will never amount to anything. Don't let them stop you from being happy. I realize that the older I get, the less I care. Drama, fuck off. Losing friends and connections with family, see ya. What's that saying? If it's not directed, it's not respected. Surround yourself with right people that will boost you up. People that motivate you. And you yourself need to show support too. That's what I do. I act like their biggest fan because am their biggest fan. You got to support your friends and family the same way you do for a celebrity that they don't even know you. If that person starts a music career, listen and share their music on social media. They start a nail salon, get your nails done there. They start making cookies, buy their cookies. Retweet their business and their posts. It would be the best thing you could do for them. One of the big things I learned by producing the Out of Place podcast is inspiring others. You will be surprised by who's watching your journey and being inspired by it. Don't give up. Without even realizing it, by me following my dreams, I am being watched. There are people now, and I'm not talking about my boys, I'm talking about people who listen to this podcast or have worked with me on the podcast, but they have let me know how motivated they are by what I do. Many of them have given me happy tears when they tell me some profound things in person or in an email or a message, and how inspired and motivated they are. I love to see other people succeeding, happy, and following their dreams. I truly believe that our lives can be a fun journey and not a big fucking competition. Following your dreams shows others out there that they can do it too. It helps others take a step to make their dreams a reality too, because now they know they can do it just like you and become way more confident than before. Listen, the reality is that no one gives a fuck about what you do. Once you understand that, it fully will change your life. Many of you are scared to follow your dream because you're afraid of what someone is going to think of you. And I'm telling you, people don't care. Another thing that I forgot to mention is money management. Many people refuse to budget and complain that they're underpaid and that there is no money to invest in their dream job, but more than likely you're sitting there with a cup of coffee that cost around $5 instead of making it at home. Then at the end of the month, you complain, oh, I don't get paid enough. I don't know how we can live with these conditions. It's all Trump's fault. Well, you're walking around with the $800 phone with $300 shoes and a $5 cup of coffee. No one is underpaying you. You have poor money management. Manage your money better and you'll find that funding you need to get started. It's not easy, but it's doable. Last year, I wanted to buy a PS5, but I got a new badass mic instead. I wanted to buy annual passes for the Disney parks now that I knew that I was moving back to the East Coast. But I did the LLC for Algebra Productions instead, and I bought a plugin for the DAWs system that I use to edit the podcast so they could sound better. It came down to priorities. If you're in your late 20s, all the way up to the late 30s, it will seem super tough to follow the dream. You're dealing with your parents getting older and falling apart. Your friend group has gotten smaller because you don't care for that bullshit anymore. Finances are fucking tough. You struggle to be motivated at work and your health is probably shit. And then you're overthinking shit or even depressed. But you gotta hang in there. You fucking got this. It's tough being an adult. Nobody tells you and explains to you that you're gonna have to parent yourself. And what do I mean is, think of all the shit that you didn't want to do as a kid. Why did you do it? It's your parents made you do it. Now that you're out of the house, you have to force yourself to do all that bullshit. This is the same for following your dream. You have to force yourself to get off your fucking ass to get what you want. I hope that I've motivated you enough to go out there and follow your dreams. It's your year. It's your time to shine. You got this. Get off your fucking ass, stop coming up with excuses, and make that dream into reality. Like Shia LaBeouf said, just do it! I'll leave you with something I saw on social media about fear. Fear has two meanings: forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. The choice is yours. Listeners and dreamers, keep moving forward.